I was at a Martin Luther King festivity at the inauguration of the President of the United States, and Jamie Foxx was talking at the Martin Luther King Monument, and he interrupted his speech and said, "I want to thank Brother Dick Gregory there, and man, what you said about Django and Spike Lee, man." No, wait, I ain't through. He said, I cannot tell you how much that raised the sales, the ticket sales. Huh?
Mm.
Why? Because I'm trusted. People that been around me long enough to know I'm not grinding no axe.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why he said what he said, knowing what I know. Knowing that Alex Haley didn't write Roots. White dude. Murray Fisher, the senior editor of Playboy magazine.
Right.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can prove it different ways. I mean, when Alex died, I believe he was killed. Because after the government used you, they threw at you. On page 122 of Malcolm, he said Dick Gregory, that Malcolm told him Dick Gregory. Malcolm told Dick Gregory about Elijah Muhammad's women. I didn't know nothing about that, but that's what the government do when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that crap we looked at the other day, and that's what I thought about you in radio shows like you, that television special on Betty Shabazz.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like the Betty and Coretta, the movie.
What's
on Lifetime
about that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what that movie was about first.
Okay.
Betty and Coretta, they wasn't that close of friends.
Mm-hmm.
They got her getting on the plane, coming up here to visit her going down there to visit, right? I was there midnight the next night when Betty was murdered, and not by her son, right?
She was not murdered by her grandson, you think?
No, baby, don't say thank. I would never get on your show and say thank.
No, you know. Well,
what I know.
Yes, sir.
One, she lived in Mount Vernon, New York, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The movie showing her living in New York City, the news conference that next morning was the New York police and the New York mayor to convince people all over the world the legitimacy of this.
Mm.
Did you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
They took her to a hospital in New York, right close by Mount Vernon. Now, my son was one of the financial analysts for the city of New York. He couldn't tell them white folks how to spend $34 billion. They couldn't touch it till the analysts had regulated it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the hospital, the financial analysts determined the money each hospital. So that was the hospital. He was there. He moved in there with his staff to make sure. She had a tracheology in her throat, tracheology in her throat. You can't talk when you have one of those in your throat. So that scene where Coretta came to the hospital and they was talking, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Her son was 12 years old. That thing they showed us in the movie wasn't no 12-year-old boy.
Mm.
And I don't know if you're aware that ran all day Sunday, gonna run all week. Do you realize the next day after it ran over and over, they arrested that boy on a plane, getting on the plane?
Iran
to Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
I heard about it, yes, sir.
Well, here's why they do that. They just showed you this criminal, this thug, and then the next day you get arrested. So the first thing you think, oh, he's always in trouble, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me tell you what happened. I had to go to a health convention on Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I land in Philly, and that's when I hear that Betty is critically ill. They don't know if she's going to make it. So I called my wife. I said, I didn't have cell phones. I didn't get cell phones until last year when all the public phones started disappearing.
Oh,
So I called my wife. I said, baby, You hear about Betty? She said, yeah, I just heard of it. What do you mean? It happened last night. I said, great. They just now. I said, wait a minute. Nobody that famous can have that type of tragedy. And the AP holds the story up till this morning. So I called Joe Madison. I said, Joe, I called Lil, but her time must be wrong, must be off. I said, when did you hear about Betty? He said, just a little while ago. I said, this happened before 11 o'clock last night. He said, let me check you, I'll call you back. And he said, yeah, you're right, but this AP story says 10:23 was sent out this morning. I said, well, something ain't right about that. Now, I knew Betty well, and I knew she didn't smoke. I just thought she was cooking something in the kitchen, you know, and something blew up on her. So now I said, wait a minute. So I called some people, and I said, well, I'm going to see if I can speak early. I'm going to jump on a train, go to New York. So I did. And got off the train, took a cab to Mount Vernon, got there. What floor did Daddy Shabazz say? Said, went up, and some neighbors came out and said, yeah, it was awful. Said, we heard the noise, and a couple of us looked out and we saw it. And what did you see? It said 4 men with hoods on. I didn't say Ku Klux Klan, I didn't say black or white. It said hoods, like they was trying to cover up their identity. And so now they talking about the boy. And here's people. I go around the corner where the fire station is, not that far from there, and they got a different story, right? And so now I leave and I come back. Now my son is there and has all the children's there, and we talk. So the mother of the child, Malcolm. So then I find out that they found Malcolm wandering around in the rain, like semi-conscious, where anybody can give you a drink, put the stuff in your food. And so he goes knock on this white woman's door. No shoes on, torrential rain. So she opens the door. Yeah. Come on, we know how quick a white woman will open the door for a black. It's raining so hard you can't only see, but you can maybe bring him in the house, right? I said, and then how long did he stay here? You know, see, I already suspect whatever happened with the government, she's part of it, right? So I said, well, is everybody just kind that you were able to, you know, locate? Oh, how did you know who he was? See, I saw it on TV. Now, I know the news didn't get released till the next morning, so I know she's lying, right? And then I remembered that Percy Sutton was his mother's lawyer, so I called Percy Sutton. Oh, Percy, are you part of this too? So now he's at the child home for truancy children or whatever it is. So I talked to his mother, and I said, here's what you need to do. There's no way you can go there and ask your son some real questions, because they'll kill him and take somebody and the thing killed him. Just talk to him and nice, and you're happy to hear him. And if you can, ask him, where was it? If you can't, don't even worry about it, because they will take him out. And everybody believes somebody loved Malcolm X so much, they killed for what he did to the grandmother. So up until then, anytime you heard the word Malcolm, you thought of Malcolm X, right? This great warrior, one of the fine minds on the planet. After that, you hear Malcolm, right? You think of a murder by his grandson. See how they do it? See how? And so now we stay in the hospital until she died. And so get back to that movie. The movie wants to tell you that Coretta Scott King, for the first time, about all these bogus tapes that Hoover was making on King in compromising positions. Coretta said, no, we got to do something. We must not let these out. Now, you just told the whole world. Here's what they was doing, man. Let me tell you. Let's say you have bugged the government, right, about some show you ran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you came here to Washington, D.C. because somebody would like to do a movie. Now, you don't know that's the CIA talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the FBI talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you come here, but you don't know that 98% of the gay and lesbian bars in Washington, D.C. is run by the CIA and the FBI, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they said, well, let's have lunch or something. And so you don't know you're going into a gay bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you there and you talking to this so-called business person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of talking, the guy said, "Oh, wait! I got to run and get this number out of my car and call my wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll call the office or something, right?" So he goes, and when he goes, there's a guy sitting next to you, right?
Right.
That's why I never sit in a bar when you go in by yourself, because you're not responsible for who's sitting next to you. When you sit at a table, but at a bar you are. So they taking pictures, quick, and the guy said, "Oh, good, what is your name? Oh, God," and hug you and kiss you, and now they got a picture. See how it works?
Mm-hmm.
Now they have a picture. And so when you stop and look at when they go out to frame you with the government recognition, so now they sit down and they do tricky things. I've been on King Week festivities, and I've seen little children in church, man, sound more like King than King on I Got a Dream. So you know what they do when they bring in Hollywood actors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Coretta didn't say that they waited till she dead. They didn't even know the movie was being made. Huh?
Mm.
And so that gets out. And if my grandmother was alive, she can't separate Hollywood from fiction, although this is supposed to be a true story. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So she sees Coretta agreeing that those horrible stuff cannot be released. Why wouldn't somebody think? See, once you release them, then the King family and the people love them enough to go and bring in people who can check tapes for voice and all of that, and it probably wouldn't stand up, you know. What they didn't show, and will never show, that famous picture when King was shot, those 5 people pointing up. Nobody's ever said, how'd they know it wasn't going to be another shot, huh? How'd they know there wasn't a bunch of redneck clanners to come down there and kill everybody on the back? How'd they not know that? And when you see that picture, get a good look at it, because King's on the ground and nobody's been over him. That's how staged that picture was. And so when you look and see, you know, how it go down and what go down and how they doctor things, and all we know is, you know, it's the government. You know, think about how many people don't trust the government, and the people do trust the government, and those of us that don't trust them, you know, then we enemy number one.